Welcome to Isaac Charge Out Rate. In this session, I'm going to walk you through the flow chart. This is the flow chart, and explain what the buttons do, but I'm not going to take you into each one of these for now. That will be in the next sessions. Each one of these will be its own sessions. Okay, so the first thing is charge out rate. Why do we calculate charge out rates? Well, the philosophy is that if you calculate a charge out rate based on each individual employee, for example, say you have a carpenter working at $20 an hour, you have a foreman working $25 an hour, you've got a laborer working $14 an hour. If you calculate each individual rate, you are risking either losing the job or losing money on the project. If you base the rate, you charge out rate based on the most expensive employee, you're risking not getting the job. If you base it on the lower employee, and you've got to send in the most expensive employee to do the job because the lower employee or the lowest employee wasn't available, now you're losing money. So what we do is we average the rate. So what you want to do is spread the risk across the company. It'll make you more competitive. It'll also guarantee that you're not going to lose money on your labor, providing, of course, that you're estimating the right hours. But that's another session, another time. Okay, so let's go on for now. The first thing I want to describe is the dashboard. Okay, so the dashboard is quite straightforward. That's where you enter the company's information. The next one is the wage calculation. Wage calculation, additional expenses, and field vehicles are straightforward. You've got to put in the costs for each one of these. For example, wage calculation, well, that's straightforward. You've got to put in the rates and everything else that goes along with it. Additional expenses will be expenses like insurance. And the field vehicles, again, that's straightforward. It's the cost of vehicles that you have in the company working in the field. We'll discuss it more in detail when we get into it. Okay, the next item, you see two buttons in here. One of them is charge out rate, the other one is proactive saving. The charge out rate is calculated into three different rates. And again, why do we have three different rates? We'll discuss it when we get into it. We've got the estimating charge out rate. We've got a service charge out rate, which is time material. And then we have service overtime rate. Well, that speaks for itself. All right, so these three make up the charge out rate for the company. Okay, the last item, the last button is the proactive saving. Again, I'll get more into detail when we get into it, but suffice it to say that everything you're going to do in here, everything you learn in here is about being proactive rather than reactive. Nobody wants to run a business putting out fires all the time or trying to catch up. So you want to be proactive so you can look into the future and plot on the future rather than base it on the past. Basing on the past is what we've got job costing for. This is not job costing. This is proactive savings. And proactive saving by charging your clients for whatever might happen. So it doesn't come out of your profits. If it comes out of your profits, guess what? You're deceiving yourself by estimating a job and putting a markup and hoping that you'll end up making that anticipated profit. One other thing to note on this page are the four buttons on top. When you're done changing or upgrading or updating charge out rate, press the save, it'll save all of your changes. If you don't press it, if you don't instruct it to save, you're going to lose all your changes. So please don't forget. Next is Isaac Home. When you're done with charge out rate and you want to go back to Isaac Home, press this button to take you right to the front of the program. Open print is the same thing. You can select any document. You can press on this button. It'll open up any document, select it, and print it. Instructions is a good one to remember. Now, at any time in any one of these, you're going to come across situations where you need more instructions. Rather than go through a whole bunch of documents to look for instructions, there are shortcuts. And watch this. If I press on instructions, in-program instructions will allow me to view instructions anytime, anywhere. So if I'm looking at this button and this question mark here, it tells me that this is a home page button. All of the squares in these flowcharts are buttons. You can click on any of them to go to different pages in the software. Begin with the dashboard. Okay, so the next one, if I want to see the charge out rate overview, I press in this button in here, and then of course it gives me an overview of the charge out rate. Again, as I said, this happens in every one of these pages. Now, to close this, go back to instructions, press on that again. Now, under instructions, again, you also have online videos. Again, these online videos, if you don't like reading and you prefer to have online video with my voice and the cursor moving between buttons and instructions, then just press on the online video, select each one of these separately, and it'll give you the instructions. And the same thing with PDF instructions. If you don't like the videos, then you can go to PDF instructions and print the entire instructions for charge out rate. All right, you're done. We can move on to the next stage.